Welcome to studying the Bible a few verses at a time. We've been looking at Genesis chapter 1, and we're currently in verse 22. So we're just going to go ahead. It says, He blessed them all and told the creatures that live in the water to reproduce and to fill the sea. And he told the birds to increase in number. Evening passed and morning came. That was the fifth day. Then God commanded, let the earth produce all kinds of animal life, domestic and wild, large and small. And it was done. So God made them all, and he was pleased with what he saw. Then God said, and now we will make human beings. They will be like us and resemble us, and they will have power over the fish, the birds, and all animals, domestic, wild, large, and small. So God created human beings, making them to be like himself. He created them male and female, blessed them, and said, have many children, so that your descendants will live all over the earth and bring it under control. I am putting you in charge of the fish, the birds, and all the wild animals. I have provided all kinds of grain and all kinds of fruit for you to eat. But for all the wild animals and for all the birds, I have provided grass and leafy plants for food. And it was done. God looked at everything he had made, and he was very pleased. Evening passed and morning came, and that was the sixth day. Okay, so basically now God had finished creation and he was very pleased. And from what we see, God expects us to be fruitful. He expects us because he blessed when he made the birds, and even when he made human, he said, multiply, fill the earth. He told us to subdue it. God spoke from also another key point. God spoke, and it was so. God was pleased with what he saw. And also, we were made in God's image. So that tells me that we look like God spiritually, and I believe we also look like him physically. There's some physical semblance, because he says that we were made. God said, let us make man to be like us. I think that doesn't just mean maybe spiritually or maybe emotionally, because God has emotions, because we see that God used to get angry, and God is love. So there is also physical semblance, emotional semblance, and then God puts us in charge. He said, I'm giving you power. I give you authority. Some versions say authority, dominion. I give you the power to rule over the fish, over the birds. That means we're not actually, when we were created, God's plan was that we should be in charge of everything, not be afraid of anything. Of course, the Bible tells us that God has not given us a spirit of fear, so we're not supposed to be afraid of anything. But of course, we know that there are a lot of things that we run away from right now. I'm sure if you see a lion, you would go in the other direction, snakes and all of that. But that was not God's plan. His plan was that we should rule over everything. We're not supposed to be the original plan was not for us to avoid these wild animals like we do today. Also, we see that God also said that he has given us grain, and then he has given fruit, and then he says he has provided grass and leafy plants for all the wild animals and all the birds. So that means wild animals, initially they were not supposed to feed on they're not supposed to be carnivorous wild animals. They're all supposed to be herbivores, eating just grass, and of course will not be of any harm to us. But of course, we know that that's not what happens today. We have carnivores, we have herbivores, we have omnivores, and all of that. So in the beginning, we can see here that God provided grass and leafy plants for all wild animals and for birds. And also, we can see that God provided everything we would ever need. In the beginning, God provided he provided everything for us. He provided a place for us to live, provided food, provided everything. And even after the fall, God provided everything we would ever need to rule, to reign through Jesus Christ. God kept speaking. That's one thing we see. He kept speaking. Keep speaking into your life, especially when you're creating something, especially when you want your circumstances to change. Keep speaking. Don't look at the physical circumstances or conditions. Just keep speaking and you will see a change. Speak life, speak light. Your words have power. Remember, God spoke and it was so. Speak and it will be so in Jesus' name. God was pleased with everything. He congratulated himself. He was pleased for a job well done. So don't look down on yourself. Be pleased with yourself. Be pleased with your work. Be pleased with your effort. You may not be where you want to be, but you probably have left. Don't beat down yourself. Don't look down on yourself. Always try to, of course, you may not be perfect. No one is. Or you may not even be trying, but I just want to encourage you to always strive to be a better version of yourself. Always strive to, God put all of us here to work. Don't be idle. Find something to do, whatever it is. It may seem minimal to you, but just put in the work. Be proud of yourself. Don't look down on yourself. God is not looking down on you. No matter what you're doing, even if you're not doing anything, God is not looking down on you. So be pleased with yourself as a human being. So we're done with chapter 1. God bless you. You can put in your contributions, comment, and we're going to be looking at Genesis chapter 2 next time. Until next time, stay blessed and God bless you.